Hello again, Capricorn. So before we begin your reading, I have two cards here for you. And I really like what you pulled because the feeling that I'm getting from this is like exciting. So from Lay Vampire, you pulled Primal, connecting deep within, sacred dance and instinct. I like this one because it talks about tapping into that primal nature and expressing yourself through dance. And yeah, to me, it feels like going out and having a good time and just tapping into, that connection deep within. I love it. So then when you look at that with impartial from Chakra Wisdom, this is saying to, take a neutral position here when it comes to the communications that may be coming through to you, because I feel like you're going to be attracting some possibly people to you when you start tapping into that primal nature. I like it. I like it because, the possibilities here are endless. And I feel like looking at it that for those of you who are single, if you're going out, stay open to the people that you may be attracting. Don't reject somebody, stay impartial, right? And then for those of you who are together here, this card speaks about stepping into the shoes of another. It's like, walk in my shoes for a minute, right? So like your partner may not like that you're going out and tapping into that primal energy. I love the ideas here. So, okay, Capricorn, here we go. Here is the energy coming through. The Two of Cups is the emotional bonding between two people. This, to me, is the signifier is suggesting that this reading is going to be centered around a relationship here. And again, when you look at, for those of you who are single, if you're going to go out and have a good time, don't be picky about the people that may be trying to communicate with you because they're being attracted to you. Oh, the past coming through, and it's no wonder why the Ten of Wands fell out. So, looking at that, the Five of Cups is all about, and look at it, the two cups remaining. It's emotional hurt, pain, and loss, and emotional suffering, And again, the man is so focused on the three cups that are spilled that he can't see the two that are still behind him. And again, this card is about not all is lost. And again, the two cups, looking at it with the Ten of Wands, it's like maybe there's a relationship that's going on right now that may be really overwhelming for you. And it's like, the Oracle cards are saying like there's this need to break away from that emotional hurt that may be tied to this relationship here. I certainly don't want to be telling anybody to break up with who they're with, but something needs to be done about a relationship here and the emotions that are coming in behind it. Oh, yes. The Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is all about moving away from conflict, moving away from conflicting situations and people in your life. Looking at it, you're definitely wanting to move away from these feelings here and this like overwhelming feeling that's surrounding this relationship. Wow, Cap, what's going on? I feel like for some of you, you're like blinding yourself to this situation. Like maybe you're not wanting to deal with it here because of what it could potentially mean. There may be a relationship in your life right now that may be too overwhelming and it's causing these emotional, painful feelings and you're wanting to get away from it. But then, it's like you're wanting to get away from it, but you haven't made a decision yet. So, the Two of Swords is blinding yourself to your situation and not being able to make a clear decision. And it's guarding yourself emotionally as well. Wow, Cap. And when you look at that with this one, again, when it says that, you need to open your eyes and, step into the other person's shoe for a minute. It's like seeing things through their eyes. My goodness, Cap. And then Primal coming through is like you're wanting to get back to that feeling again of tapping into that kind of energy that's within yourself. you know, and being able to express who you are by going out and having a good time. But there's a situation that's going on here that needs to be dealt with, definitely involving a relationship. Your best path to follow is telling you not to get caught up in illusions. Cap. Wow. The Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is like, what the hell do I do? There may be too many options in front of you. And, you know, again, when you look at that, it says too that if something seems too good to be true, it probably is. You know, this is about not getting caught up in illusions. And to me, it's like there's this disorganization going on emotionally, you know? Cap. Oh, the influences around you. Now it starts to make sense. Look at it. I mean, look at it. There is, looking at this to me, there is a relationship going on in your life that may involve somebody who has water in their chart. The Queen of Cups could represent a water sign. This is somebody who is emotionally intuitive. And when you look at what you have going on here, sorry guys, I'm like trying to get him to go somewhere else, please, because I'm doing stuff here, man. Sorry. So, you know, with what's going on here, to me, this is somebody that may be manipulating you emotionally, and it's like you're wanting to reject it, you know, but there's a part of you that's like not seeing it fully, but you know, you're wanting to move away from this. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a relationship, but there's some hurt feelings there. And it's like, what do you do to correct it? Oh, your hopes and your fears. The Four of Pentacles. What is it that you're hanging on to here? Because you're not wanting to open your eyes to it. It's like, you know, you're hanging on to this here. You're not wanting to let this go. And that's understandable. It's like there's a part of you that's wanting to work on this here. Because it's like you don't want this conflict going on anymore involving this relationship. And, you know, there's this need to open your eyes and not get caught up in illusions, in especially emotional illusions regarding this person here. But what is it that you're hanging on to? You know, it's like there's a need here to look at why this relationship is causing these emotional feelings going on of hurt. You know, you need to open your eyes to that so that you're able to make a clear decision when it comes to, you know, what you need to do here. You know, again, it's like you have some options, but again, you know, be careful what you choose. Oh, and the outcome, that's really nice. So, you know, there's a part of me here that feels like where, you know, it's like, I hate saying it this way. It's like, for those of you who are in a relationship right now, it's like you're taking a look at it. And it's like you're wanting to decide here what you need to do. Do you leave it or do you work on it? And it's like, here it's saying that you need to look at it from this other person's perspective for a minute. Step inside their shoes and see it from their viewpoint before you make any decisions here. Wow. Because, you know, coming out with the Nine of Cups, this is wish fulfillment. And this is emotional fulfillment as well. So it's like maybe you hanging on to this relationship is a good thing, you know, rather than walking away from it. Now, you know, when it comes to those of you who may be single, you know, it's like there's this need to want to have this emotional bonding with another person. But, you know, there's like this emotional junk going on that, you know, you need to move away from and not guard yourself so much emotionally because, you know, maybe this person being in your environment is like wanting to have this experience with you, but there may be issues that need to be dealt with here first. Wow, Cap. Wow. It's like at first it felt like, you know, maybe this is a relationship that you need to walk away from. But really here, I think this is stuff that you're dealing with internally. And it's like you're taking a minute to see it from the other person's perspective. And in your hopes and your fears, you know, wanting to hang on tightly to the relationship, yes. But, you know, be careful about what you're hanging on too tightly to as far as, you know, these hurt emotions coming through. It's like there's this relationship that needs to be worked on here. And if you do, you end up in this place of emotional fulfillment, and again, it's like tapping deep within and feeling that, primal nature and expressing yourself through dance, And for those of you who are single, and I just feel like I need to mention this, especially with Valentine's Day coming up, if you're going out, be open to the people that are coming in that are, being attracted to you. Like, it's like you're going to have options, but, be careful about getting caught up in these illusions of, oh, maybe this isn't going to work out and I don't want this kind of conflict, and you're just like guarding yourself emotionally. I think this is telling you to just kind of stay open to what you may be attracting. And if you're in a relationship, if you work on it and whatever conflict may be going on, you're going to end up in a beautiful spot. Okay, we're going to break this down in 2 sections here, because what you have going on here, there's 2 different ways to look at this for singles and coupled. Now, so when we get into those of you who are single, if you're going to go out and you're going to have a good time and you're wanting to have this emotional bonding experience with a person that may be in your environment right now, before you do that, you need to get rid of whatever it is that you're hanging on to as far as the way that you think and feel about relationships. It's kind of like when you're wanting something new, especially when it comes to a relationship, you can't go into it with the same thoughts and beliefs. It's like, you need to look at what it is that you're blinding yourself to, and deal with those issues first so that you can have that bonding experience, right? Because you're definitely going to be attracting people here through you tapping into that primal nature, right? But again, impartial, don't go into the idea of a new relationship with, that, man, this isn't going to work out, or, I'm going to end up heartbroken. Don't do that. Don't do that. Impartial is saying that you need to look at it like, anything can happen here. There is a possibility for happiness. And when you do that, that's exactly what you get. And it's beautiful. Now, for those of you who are in a relationship right now, this person is like in your environment, and it's like you're having these issues regarding this relationship. And there's a part of you that's like wanting to break away, tap into that primal nature, right? But impartial is saying that you need to step into their shoes for a minute and see things through their eyes, Maybe it's you or maybe it's them that are hanging on to these feelings of conflict and, emotional hurt. But there's like this need to see the situation, and not only that, but to look at what it is that you're hanging on too tightly to, because, your best path to follow is saying that there's going to be like emotional disorganization. And again, don't get caught up in illusions, right? If you're working on a relationship right now and the thoughts and the emotions that are going on around it, you don't want to go into this with not opening your eyes to what is going on. And again, it's like, don't get caught up in those feelings from the past, right? Because the whole point of the 6 of Swords is that you're wanting to move away from that conflict. And I think when you do that, what happens here is really beautiful. It's really beautiful. It's like watching a relationship go through a really rocky period and then it comes out amazing. And again, it's needing to look at what limiting thoughts and beliefs are you hanging on to in regards to this relationship. Don't get caught up in that, because again, the whole point is to move away from that conflict. But where you end up is beautiful. And yes, I would want to dance and celebrate when it comes to that too. So if you are single and you're going to go out and you're going to have fun, stay open to the options that may be coming through to you, but be careful about any preconceived notions that you have regarding relationships before you jump into it with somebody. And then if you are with someone now, when you open your eyes and see it through their eyes, you're going to be celebrating that union.